Hey, back in black. It is Tommy Danielsen here and John Ryan,
Yep, the
the
co-host.
Viva Las Vegas guy, what stays in Vegas and whatnot.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. There you go. We're back again, and this is the show that takes a little peek at the biggest cities in the world, or lots of cities in the world, about what strategy and what hotels to pick using your hotel points. And today we're in London, which is where you're a big, you know a lot about London, right?
I do not.
So how? But you've heard a lot. A lot of people talk about London, and there's a lot of
Definitely.
opinions, of course, in London of where to stay and whatnot for a hotel, right?
Mhm, definitely.
So we and what have you heard so far? If you were to go to London, what would you look at?
I know just based on your opinion, I think it's avoid the JW Marriott Gross Wiener House. It's a pretty
Gross Wiener
awful
Square,
property.
yeah.
Yeah. And
That
then
is one
beyond
gross
that,
Wiener, I can tell you that much.
okay.
Yeah.
And
I don't
then
think that's how
I
you say it, but that's the way I say it. Like your boy
Gross
Trump there,
Wiener.
he says Yosemite, right? For
Oh yeah,
Yosemite.
yeah.
So I call it the gross Wiener Square.
I know
Yeah,
Hilton
no, I think and
Paddington.
that's all you know about London?
I mean Hilton Paddington. That's a good location, right in the train station, the Heathrow Express and Elizabeth Line.
Elizabeth Line, yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. And actually, why don't we just dive into the Hilton? We're going to start with Hilton, where to
Sure.
stay when it comes to Hiltons in London. And let's see if we can zoom in on this map here, this here map. What we got going on. Lots of hotels in London for Hilton, much more than there was in. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because London is kind of a broad city where you stay, right? So when it comes to staying by the airport in London, right? Um, it's convenient, but it's fast, but it's costly.
Yeah.
So it'll cost you if you do the Elizabeth line, it'll cost you $15 each way, and it's not covered by your London pass, the one you buy to have unlimited stuff around London. It's not included in that because it's so far outside of the city that you don't get it as a part of the £5 or £7 a day thing. You're going to have to pay for it. So I don't think there's an upside. And when it comes to Hilton, there's only the Hilton Garden Inn, Terminal 2, Terminal 3. That's convenient. You take the Heathrow Express or you take the Elizabeth line. You get off at that station, the first one you come to, and then you just literally take the elevator up, and the hotel's right there. So it's obviously super convenient in that sense. But at the end of you got to walk a little bit when you get upstairs. But I wouldn't do that. Do you agree on that, or?
Yeah, I mean there is a Hilton by Terminal 4 as well.
Yeah, but
That
that'll
one's
take you like you got to change. You got to take Heathrow Express, and you got to
Oh yeah.
change, and then you got to take the Terminal 4 train over there. So that's it's. I would say no. All right, so let's take a look. There's a Curio collection, and I'm not going to claim that I'm the biggest Hilton fan in the world. I'm really not. They're like the ugly sidekick for me,
Ugly
and
redheaded
I really
stepchild.
don't. Pardon.
Ugly redheaded stepchild. What is it?
There
What's
you
the
go.
yeah.
It's my get out of jail free card. I do have the credit cards. I do have diamond status that comes with the credit card and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not. It's not my first choice, if you will. Looking at the Trafalgar St. James Hotel, I have heard good things about this property, to be honest with you, and I feel like it is fairly new. It's funny that you got to go up the stairs there if you're going to go and sit and look out the
Oh
window.
yeah.
And that fainting couch does not look comfortable at all. But you got a couple of chairs here and it's even flat. So this is 85K. I think that that's a good gig. And you also see the Nomad. I guess what kind of brand is that?
That's really new. I think it's its own brand actually. It got bought out by Hilton like 3 to 6 months ago.
Yeah, so this is a brilliant location. It looks like it's in central London and sort of like Mayfair area. And 95,000 points is a little bit of points. Then you've got the Waldorf Hilton, which sounds like the Waldorf Astoria, but it's definitely not. I feel like the rooms there at that hotel are a little bit on the older side, as you can see here in
Yeah.
the picture. Not a big fan of that hotel, to be honest with you, but it is, a little bit inexpensive. Then you've got the Dukes, which is a small luxury hotel. I do like this one. When it was a part of Hyatt, it was a good deal. 80,000 points per night. I feel like that's worth it. You're not going to get that room that has a garden outside. I asked for that, and they were kind of like, ho, 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 you're not getting that type of thing. Um, the Conrad London is also a lot of people who are Hilton fan like the Conrad in London. It's very boutiquey. It's great location in Mayfair and walkable to pretty much anywhere. Or wait a minute, that's not the one I've stayed at. It's the LXR that I have, the Belmont, the Flairmont, the Bleu. We'll take a look at that. It's probably down the list a little bit. But I just literally just saw somebody post a review about the Conrad and that they like it. I've heard good things, and I think that it's a good gig. 108,000. I don't know. As you can see, it's a premium room awards, so it's not a standard. So it's less than that. It's probably around the area of what we're talking about right here. West End, DoubleTree. Yeah, it's now we're looking. The Waterloo one we used it as an overflow hotel when we have big events in London. So,
That's
but
run by City, right?
pardon.
Isn't that by London City Airport?
It's kind of south. London
Oh,
City
okay.
Airport is like over here,
Okay.
like further away. It's like over here. That's
Oh,
London
wow.
City. So it's. But there's a hotel there.
Mm.
Um, but if you want to stay out by London City, the Courtyard is the place to stay because it's the one that's closest to the terminal. All right, looking at the original Hilton, the Hilton that people say that's the one that has the Trader Vic's. I think that they're closing it now, but it has a tiki bar and all that stuff. This is a big property right on the park and right across the street from the park, Hyde Park, and it's a decent gig for sure. We got a nice club lounge and stuff like that. I, very hard to say, but 85,000, yeah, sure. London can be pricey. This one, the Hilton Bankside, always cheap. Haven't stayed, couldn't tell you. They got the Lost property. There's one, a DoubleTree by Victoria Station. I feel like when you're looking at the other costs here, that would come pretty down on the list for me. The St. Paul's Curio Collection, haven't stayed. I would probably pick that one way before I did the DoubleTree by Victoria Station. Let's see. You got a DoubleTree Marble Arch. It's right close to the Churchill, like right around the corner from there. Great location, but it doesn't get good reviews. Walkable to Paddington Station, probably 15 minutes or so. Then one that is notably missing here is the Hilton Paddington. Where is it? Is
Oh,
it not?
page two. They have a
Why is it on
second
page
page.
two when it's such a central location? There you go. Okay, so it
Oh,
goes by value. Yeah, this hotel is definitely worth the 50,000. Absolutely worth the 50,000. I think I didn't even pay that when I was there. It's a little bit old. They're great bit upgrades though. They gave me a junior suite. I'll put the link in the description for the video. They have a club lounge, which is a little meh. It's kind of cool that you have a view of you. So the club lounge is actually facing inside of Paddington Station, so you see all the trades and stuff there. It's kind of cool. Let me check in at like 11 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Or wait a minute, they made me wait a little bit though, but they gave me access to the club lounge so I could hang around there for while I was waiting for my room. I have no issues with it. It's just a little old and dusty, and also the room was a little bit warm. But I think that had to do with the fact that it was in the sun. As you can see, it's bathing in the sun right there during the day, and it was in the winter, so they didn't have the air on. But I think in the summer it should be solid. That's anything else we've got here. We got the Kensington Hilton, which I haven't seen. So there you go. There's the Hilton London City, the Hampton Inn London City. I know people that have stayed there that likes that place. What a great value that is. It also comes with breakfast, of course. Um, Hilton London Hyde Park, haven't stayed, couldn't tell you. And then there is the Kensington Hilton, which is right here, 38,000 points. Definitely a get out of jail free card. It's on the central line. So you can actually get, so we had people staying there, John, for the Loyalty Summit, like an overflow hotel. and it goes straight to Liverpool Station with some stops, and it takes like 20, 25 minutes to get all the way from the west side all the way until to Liverpool Street, which is on the east side. So it might sound like a bad location, but it really isn't. It's a little bit on the older side, but the rooms were fresh. They were just a little bit small. They also, in addition to giving you free breakfast, they gave me drink vouchers for the bar. I was just over there paying, and somebody else was staying in the room. But I feel like it was I paid for multiple rooms over there, but they gave us a dime, and they gave you full breakfast in the restaurant and also drinks, to a couple of drinks each night for anything you wanted. Not anything you wanted, but it said free drinks on them. All right, moving over to Marriott. So looking here, kind of interesting that the non-point saver rate for the W in London is 62,000, while the County Hall Marriott is 76,400. I feel like the W should be a better value. I haven't stayed at this W. Have you heard anything about any of these?
No.
So a lot of people are saying that the St. Ermins is kind of a cool gig right now. Haven't stayed. I wouldn't know. Obviously, 266 pounds and 58,400 seems like a good deal to me. London Edition not available on points this time around. Haven't stayed. The Sheraton by the Park, it's a decent hotel. I thought I heard that the Club Lounge was no longer open for the COVID thing. Maybe that has changed because the lounges in London seem to be there, right?
Yeah.
The Bankside haven't stayed. The London Marriott Grosvenor Square. It's not the one I hate, but there was some issues with this thing. They got a really nice club lounge in the basement. Really good breakfast, good quality breakfast. Not as busy as the JW Marriott Grosvenor, but the problem I had there is that the first room I got to had no Wi-Fi reach in the room. And I changed, and I'm going to leave a link in the description to this hotel review as well. The rooms were nice. They were luxurious. It's definitely a five-star gig. I moved up to the top floor, and we were working on a big project when we were having an event in town. So this was like we stayed here early before going to the Mayfair, only for the night of the event. And so I had work to do, and I was going to stay there 2 nights and at this place at the Marriott here. And I got to the new room, and the only place that the Wi-Fi had coverage was in the bathroom. So I was sitting in the bathroom having conference calls, right? So I checked out the next morning and moved to the Mayfair for the night. Not really good at all. That was the issue. Everything else with the hotel was great. I mean, they waived the night. I didn't pay for the night, and it was good service in that sense. And they had a guy come up and stuff. And it was just, if you are dependent on work, it's not a good gig. So anyways, I don't know if that's the case for everybody, but this was 2 years ago. So 2023. All right. And I'll leave a link in the description. Then you've got the Wellesley.
Yeah, I guess. Quite the mouthful.
It is. I haven't stayed there myself, but I heard good things about it. I wanted to check it out. It wasn't available with a decent rate or points. This is good. If I was looking at this, I would go for it, I think.
Agreed.
I think I would go for it. Where's it located? So it's Knightsbridge. So it's close to Harrods and the MO, the Mandarin Oriental, and other areas in that area. So that's a good area.
Whoa. What do we have here? Your favorite.
There is the Grosvenor, yes. As you can see, the cheapest hotel we've seen so far, 52,800 points. Yeah, that place is a nut house. It's got a crap load of rooms that are super old, and if you get a room that faces the courtyard inward, and of course there is a review from this place. I booked it because I was doing reviews in London. I shouldn't have done it, but now we have a review, right? So I tend to hop hotels now to make sure that we cover everything. They sent me a text message before. Hey, Mr. Danielsen, we've got a surprise for you. We got a 1-bedroom executive premium suite, whatever, reserved for you. And I went into the app, and lo and behold. And so I went there in the morning from the Churchill. I'd stayed at the Churchill for 2 nights before. And I went over there, walked over. It's not that far from the Churchill, maybe 10 minutes walk, if that. And dropped off my bag and I had meetings with Virgin Atlantic and with Nectar, I think, or whatever. I had 3 meetings that day. I had a visa or whatever. I had some business meetings. So I hopped in a suit, and the room wasn't ready. So I left my bags there in the morning. I did all my meetings, came back in the afternoon, and I checked in. I said, "Wow, thank you so much for upgrading me. That's really cool." And it was like the lady looked like the biggest question mark in the world. She was like, "Not sure I know. Not sure I know what you mean, sir." And I was like, "I got this," and I took a screenshot of it because part of the story is that this happened to me the last time I stayed there. So I showed her I pretended I was in the app, and I said, "I see this in the app." "Oh no, that's I don't know. Here you have a standard room facing the dumpster." Of course, she didn't say that, but that's the reality she had, and I was like, "Wow, this is kind of insane that for the second time in a row this is happening to me at this place." So obviously they had given away the suite to somebody else, and that was the end of it. And thankfully I took this screenshot, so I got chuckles out of it. And I was like, I'm here for a night. Never you mind. You don't have to go in the back room and talk to somebody and pretend like you care about finding me something nicer. Let's just get this over with. And she then insisted on walking in the back, and she came, and they had a awkward little suite, which was a 2-bedroom with a bathroom in the middle, but there was no. Did you see that review?
A little while ago, but yeah, I think I saw it.
Yeah, it was funny because my suitcase was the only thing that fit in that living room, and it was completely worn out. There was a hole in the rug on the floor, and the mattress was hard, and also it stunk to high of heaven because the vents for the kitchen it was facing the inner courtyard with the air conditioned towers and the vents right in front. So it was by far the lowest floor, so I could see straight out. You can watch the review; it's entertaining. And also, you can also in that review you can see me stepping on one of those door stops when you walk into the shower. The door stop for the door was right where you step into the shower. So you get to also see me hurt myself. So that was good. Definitely not staying there. The club lounge is a joke. It is so busy. So busy. It's chaotic. And no, thank you. All right. Don't know any
What's
of
a
these.
4 Points Flex? I've literally never heard of that brand.
That's their new no frills version of it.
Okay.
You don't get anything. That's kind of the gig. 81 pounds, 31,000. That should tell you something. It's also by Houston, so it's kind of. Now let me look at the map and see where we are here. Oh boy, I shouldn't have done that. All right, so let's go down on the list. There's the gross wiener. There's the JW gross wiener. There it is. So it is. Oh, Houston Station. Yeah, okay. So that's not a bad location, I would say. I've seen worse.
Good
New
reviews,
hotel.
though.
No, I don't know anything about it. You're going to have to look it up, Johnny.
Yeah. What's Google?
What's Google? Well, I'm controlling this. Maybe you can look on your Google to see if you can find out what the hell a 4 Points Flex is.
I didn't know I didn't know you were waiting for me.
I was waiting for you to look up what the 4 Point Flex is.
It says it's as a response to a growing guest segment demand for a simplified guest experience focused on the essentials.
Sounds like a
I
Moxie.
don't know what that means. Basically. And it's 5 points per
Well,
dollar.
basically is what the name of the thing should be because it's so basic.
Seriously.
I skip it. London Marriott Hotel Park Lane. So I don't know. But down in the south here, there's a couple of Residence Inn and stuff I would rather do than to stay at some Yankee Doodle dandy place. The London Marriott Park Lane is very central location, close to Oxford Street. It's very close to Edgware Road, where all the Mediterranean, Middle Eastern restaurants are lined up that street. Love that area. So much good fruit. There's an place called Al Balad, which is probably the best Middle Eastern food you can find outside of the Middle East. No alcohol, of course, because, they're not into that stuff. All right. The Park Tower and Knightsbridge have stayed there. It's been a few years. As you can see, the reviews are kind of low. It's completely worn out and needs a refresh. But the price obviously reflect that. I would stay there rather than the Gross Wiener, though. Anyways,
Yeah.
the Westin London City is a nice hotel. It is one stop away from the Blackfriars by the Hyatt Blackfriars. I like the place, very modern, and I think they have sort of a club line situation there, and also they had some good benefits also for platinum and above. So I would give it a shot. 330 pounds, a little bit pricey. I would stay at the Churchill for that kind of money instead, but 65,000 points is I'm digging it. Montcalm Mayfair is a new hotel, Autograph Collection. St. Pancras, you've heard a lot about, right?
Yeah, the international train station.
So St. Pancras is where you take the train to the Eurostar. And there's also this hotel. They have a specific upgraded wing called something something. And you don't get, there's two lounges. There's a basic lounge and then there's the lounge here that for that specific way. I don't know what it's called. Some people swear by it. It's like a specific room that has a much better lounge but you have to be upgraded to those rooms and they don't typically do that. Bulgari Hotel for $625. Wow, that's compared to Paris that wanted $2,500 bucks. That's not so bad, is it?
Yeah.
Great Northern is Tiffany Funk stayed here. She kind of digs it, and she told me not to stay there because the rooms are too small, and she has no issues with the small rooms herself. And she said if you don't have an issue with the small rooms, you'll be good to go. But at the end of the day, it's obviously that's the Achilles heel. But I heard that it's fresh, it's nice, and breakfast is good. The Marble Arch,
190 seems low.
yeah, I mean, it's slow season, right?
Yeah,
So
fair.
also, it's pretty noisy around there. I wouldn't typically stay there, to be honest. Like, uh, I'm not digging that right there it's like right on the corner of Oxford Street, right? It's very noisy around there, and I think that it's a very central location. You can walk everywhere. Hyde Park is right across the street. So 44,000 posts is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Threadneedles, never heard of it, so I couldn't recommend. Inhabit, it's one on the south side, 45,000. It's kind of towards a little bit close to Victoria Station, is where it is. Here we go. Here's the Residence Inn, a London Bridge. Great location. It's only 162 pounds though, which right now dollars at 126. So it's less than $200. I would say that's a decent rate for a Residence Inn. I don't think I would use the points though. I think I would pay for that, right?
No. Yeah, I would never use points.
Right. Here we go. There's the Tower Bridge Residence Inn as well. Same gig, 153. That's also comes into that category. Never heard of this place, but it's one of those autograph collections. The Dixon, haven't heard of that either. The Design Hotels, we kind of try and stay away from the Design Hotels because they don't give you any benefits, no breakfast or anything like that. So I don't think you save anything by staying there. Here we go. So this is the Kensington Marriott, which is a little bit kind of outside, close to Chelsea. Swanky neighborhood and lots of good restaurants around there. I would say that it's very average hotel and usually cheap. So, and I see it's 184. And if you want to stay at a cheap Marriott, though, that's not the way to go, to be honest with you. The Senia, I've heard about, not the best location, I would say. It's even further out than that. It's close to the old Marriott there. So I don't think I would go for that. The Park Grand Hotel is also in the North Chelsea area, down Kensington area. But as you can see, it's 94 pounds. So I don't feel like this is a good value at all. And then we got the Regent Park, which is where we have had our events, and we have two events happening this year. And off season, it could be quite the bargain at 38,400 or 176 pounds. And they got a very nice club in the reception area. There's a club lounge. The rooms are brand new. And people who think that it's kind of so it's close to Camden and Regent Park, of course. You take the Elizabeth line, you get up Bond Street, and then you change there and you take the subway. I don't remember which line it was. You just 2 stops and you are at Swiss Cottage, and then you walk for like less than 5 minutes to this hotel. So it's not inconvenient whatsoever. And I'm kind of liking this place since the rooms are brand new and the rooms are a decent size. They also have a pool in the basement and some other stuff. And there's not a lot of things around there, but it's so close to everything, and it's definitely more convenient than most. Second get out of jail free card is the Maida Vale one, which I think it has the same owners as the Regent's Park one. I might be wrong on that, but I feel like they're very similar hotels. So this one is a little bit less convenient in that sense, but you can take you the way it's not less convenient because you get off at Paddington, which means that you can either take the Elizabeth line or the Heathrow Express, and you hop on the subway, and it's not really that far away from there. You can also take an Uber up there; it's less than 10 minutes. And for 29,600 points, it's definitely a steal. They got a nice club lounge, and actually, the club lounge was closed when we were there last year. And when it's as cheap as it is here, I would say that I have no issues with that hotel. I kind of dig it. It's got restaurants around there, and they gave us, because the club lounge was closed when we were there. They gave us anything we wanted from the bar from like 6 until 9. And
Wow.
throughout the day, you could go have coffee there at the bar. So if you wanted an espresso, Platinum and above can do that. I think the club lounge is now open again, but it's definitely these two hotels are very good value, and the service is great, and they treat you well as a platinum there, and the or above. I'm lifetime titanium, but platinum and above gets free breakfast and the club lounge, right? So I definitely recommend these as cheap options. Another Residence Inn, $138. That's not a good deal. Flex Apartments, another one of those flex ones, the lame ass 165 pounds, bad deal. Yeah, and then you're kind of outside of the city. I wouldn't stay this far out, to be honest with you. There is the London City. There's a Moxie out here, or was it? Yeah, there it is. And then there is the Courtyard Hotel. No, that's in a loft. Where's the Courtyard? It's out
Page
there.
two.
Yeah, must be the page two. There is a courtyard. Okay, that's fine. There's a courtyard out by London City Airport. It's the most convenient one. When you're staying by Heathrow Airport, there are some Marriott there too. There's too many options in the city to kind of look outside there. All right, moving over to Hyatt, and there are changes a brewing in London because of the category changes we reported last week or 2 weeks ago now, or was it last week?
Last week, yeah.
There you go. We had two shows last week. So the Hyatt Regency London Albert Embankment is a Category 5, and it's remaining a Category 5. And then the Blackfriars goes up to a Category 6 for 25,000, and the Honest Liverpool Street remains at a Category 6, and the Churchill goes up to a 7. So
Okay.
7 is oh, okay. So the Churchill, as you can see, is 297. So like $350. Shouldn't be a 7, man. It just shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a 7. It's this. These bear in mind. So we have a corporate code in here, so you can see it's it's not a hotel that takes corporate code. So these rates that you're seeing here, if we were to do a search here and not do a corporate code and just do a AAA, I don't think that the rates are going to go up by much, to be honest with you. Let's see. Yeah, so here it's the same. The rates are the same. So the Hyatt Regency, the Churchill's 297, the Blackfriars 252, and the Albert Embankment is 206. This one is new, I
It's
think.
the really small rooms hotel.
Oh, I thought that was the one that was by Paddington Station, right? That hasn't opened
Oh
yet,
yeah. Yeah, that's right.
right? Um, so if I were to, yeah, so let's go through the list here. And we have reviews for all of these hotels. We have for the Hyatt Regency London, Albert Embankment. So I think the location is really awkward, and it's really categorized wrong. It shouldn't be a Hyatt Regency. You walk into the lobby, and you've got you can watch the review and you know what I'm talking about. It's the lobby holds like 20 people, and it's tiny. You're standing. It's like a Paris hotel, and then getting into the elevator, it's very narrow and chaotic there downstairs on the bottom floor. They don't have a club lounge, so they give you the same thing. You can order from the bar. You can get a snack. You can order sandwiches or whatever in the evening instead of in lieu of the club lounge. Which is a good thing. I got a nice upgrade to a view of has the view of the river that you see here. Obviously, they must have put it on a stick. It doesn't really look that. It's an old picture, probably, I think, but it's right on River Thames, so it's nice in that sense. I have no issues with it. The problem that I have is that you got to change twice to get there, and if unless you want to take a bus, then it's also twice. You got to change twice. You got to take to the to take the subway, and then you got to get off or take the Heathrow Express or Elizabeth line. You got to change to a subway, and then you got to change again. You get off at Vauxhall is the station, and then you walk for about 10 minutes. It's not the end of the world, but it took me like an hour and a half to get from Heathrow to there. So that's what I'm not digging it. The Blackfriars is a much better location. And right on the Blackfriars station, it's very, very easy to get to Gatwick from there. You can walk across the street and it's 35 minutes. So I think that's what I'm digging with that. It's now going to be a Category 6, though, so it'll be 25,000. Nah, I don't think so. I'm not feeling it. On this Liverpool Street, it's like it's a beautiful, it's a drama filled, gorgeous girl, right? That you meet. It's a lot of drama and it's a really bumpy road, but it'll get there. You'll have a good time and all that stuff. But last time I stayed there, and we got a review for that one too. I'm going to put it up. We had one room there for a couple of nights, and then we had Harold there for 3 nights, our conference chair for the Loyalty Summit in London. And the guy was like, "Oh, we've gotten you to our most prestigious suite for your friend here." So he got upgraded to a beautiful, gorgeous, huge suite. I don't have a video of that, but we got a junior, Melinda and I. And after 2 nights, the hotel contacted me and said, "Hey, he has to move rooms today." I was like, "Beg your pardon?" He said, "Yeah, we sold the suite to somebody else, and they're going to stay for a longer time, so you got to move." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to move."
Yeah.
And they actually made us. Even we had an event there, and the management at that hotel is junk. I mean, the way they treated us with the event there also, it was yeah. The breakfast is nice. They have a really nice coffee bar there, which is connected to the hotel. Digging it. The location is great. It is on Liverpool Street. You take the Elizabeth line from straight to Heathrow. It's literally you're outside for like 10 yards. The rooms are great, and when things work out, as long as you don't involve the hotels and something goes wrong, it's beautiful. But I'm not feeling that hotel. Great Scotland Yard. You've heard of that, right?
Yeah, I have. Somewhat familiar.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. It is located kind of close to Westminster, right?
Yeah.
Or a little bit further north. I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't stayed myself, but it is a Category 6, which kind of feels a little bit over the top to me. Then you've got the new Park Hyatt that just opened. It opened in like November of last year, or like October, November last year. The location is so far. Look where it is right here. That's down here. It
That's
is
bad.
far outside of town. You know, MO and Peninsula and the Four Seasons, the most important things, and also they're building a new Belmont, or was it Belmont, or no, not Belmont. What is it called? The one, Rosewood Hotels.
Oh.
They're building a new Rosewood Hotel in London also. Always in pristine, great location. This is like out in the sticks. It's even further away than the Albert Embankment one. Yeah, so no. I'm going to go and check it out just to make sure that we've tried it and reviewed it, but the location is a hard pass for me. Then you got the Hyatt Regency of the Churchill. I mean, 297. I stayed there for like 240. I think I stayed for like $250 actually the last time I was in London. I was staying also at the Gross Wiener I did 3 hotels then, so to make sure I had enough reviews. One of my favorite hotels. I absolutely love it there. It is phenomenal service. I'm going to put that review in there. They got two club lounges. Did you know that?
No, that's
Have you ever
pretty
heard of a
awesome though.
hotel with two club lounges?
No.
They got one where you and your mama and your papa are welcome, and then you got another one where no children are allowed.
Well, that's only till June, Tommy.
There you go. I can't wait
Okay.
for that. So what we're talking about here is a business lounge, which is the one on the right, which is, and also what I'm digging about it is that if you stay there often enough, I haven't stayed in a while because it was so expensive after the pandemic. But now that the prices are somewhat normal, this is where I stay in London, like regardless. Like 250, $300, absolutely, and I just pay it even if it's 30,000. So when they recognize you when you come in the door, the security guys, they come and get you and they lead you away from the reception. They lead you over to the elevator and they beep you into the elevator and then they send you up to the eighth floor where the club lounge is, and then they check you in there.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So you sit down in a chair, very civilized. There used to be a guy there who ran the club lounge, a Middle Eastern guy named Mr. Sadiq. Well, boy, do I miss this guy. He was a hotelier of hoteliers, and we had a really cool banter going. I hope he's doing all right. He retired. Retired. I think he worked a little bit extra, like some days of the week, but he retired. I didn't see him for any of my previous stay or my recent stays. And it's yeah, so they have one business lounge where kids are not allowed, and it's funny, ironic, speaking about in all seriousness, I went in there because it was kind of busy in the morning, and so I got in there and there was nobody in there. Like right after breakfast, like 11, I was sitting there working, except there was a jackass American guy who was on a conference call screaming over the entire lounge,
Oh
like
no.
10 times worse than a kid. About his venture capital company that he worked for in Silicon Valley and his whole life story. It was like,
Shut
that's
up,
why,
dude.
well,
Yeah.
these days there are a lot of
Uh
reasons to
huh.
hate Americans, but that's definitely one. That guy is not our biggest ambassador. Let's just leave it
No.
at that. All right, so you got some Mr. and Mrs. Smith stuff. I'm just going to skip it because there's no value. All right, going back to IHG. You've got an Indigo hotel in Leicester Square. Not sure. Oh, I was. Yeah. So let me take this off of the gig again. I'm going to put a placeholder here. And then I'm going to log on again because we've been yapping so long now that we missed it. We got to talk about,
Oh,
it's just my email. You can't see the password, so it's
yeah.
fine. Let's see here. So we've got, I guess they're not available. Intercontinental Park Lane. It's a really nice area. It's a little bit old and dusty. Maybe, I don't know when the last time they did, but usually they'll put it on the website when it's been recently refurbished. I think not. But as you can see, it is right here on the corner. This right in Hyde Park corner here where the subway station is. Take it straight to Heathrow
Wow,
from there, so you can take a subway to Heathrow
that's a
from
good
there.
location.
Yeah, I dig the location. So the Churchill is kind of over here where you see the Welbeck Hotel, which is not
Yep.
available. You got the Kimpton Fitzroy. I haven't stayed, but I heard a lot of good things about it. The only IHG hotel I've stayed at in London is the Intercontinental, and I've stayed there like 3 or 4 times. I have no issues with it. They take really good care of the ambassadors. Got a nice upgrade. They gave me a food and beverage voucher. They gave me £25 to use in the minibar and stuff like that. So, and a good upgrade as well. On the cheaper front, it looks like for this particular day, it's not something that's available. Unfortunately, it looks like that. But if we were to look at Vauxhall, is where it's down here, right?
Okay.
Um, Here it is. So it must be over here somewhere. Yep. Staybridge Suites, 37,000. It's very, very close to
Albert
the
Embankment.
yeah the Albert Embankment. Yeah, it is very close to there. It's actually it's closer to the train station than that. So um, I haven't stayed, but obviously you can see there are some good numbers here, some Holiday Inns. There's a Holiday Inn Express next to Victoria Station, which has the Gatwick Express. You've got a Regent Park Holiday Inn, which is so it's South Regent's Park, right? gets good reviews. So the Marriott Regent Park that we talked about earlier is kind of north, while this one is south. So it's a better location, I would say, probably, and then not Marriott. Although you're going to have to switch subways to get there. And it looks like it's also very, very far away from things, from the closest walking to the closest subway. You've got a King Cross here, which is King's Cross. Where are you? Where is King Cross? Oh my goodness, the Welbeck, the Crown Plaza. It is the Crown Plaza. So I'm not finding it. No. Oh, here we go. It's over here on the east side, kind of east side. It's not that far east, but it's close to Liverpool Street, right? Liverpool Street's over here somewhere, right? So you got to take over and you got to switch. And there's another one of the Volco ones, and this one is in a very central location. It's like right off of Edgware Road, looks like. So not the worst location I've seen. Then you've got an Indigo Hotel that's by Paddington, 36,000 points. The Indigos are pretty decent, right?
Yeah, they're pretty good, I think.
Yeah, so that seems like a good deal. And so it is. So it's London Street, Paddington. So it's right next, close to the Hyatt, right? No, I mean the Hilton Paddington, right around the corner. A lot of cool stuff around there. I like that area. It's a little ethnic. And also, did you know that behind Paddington Station there's a big canal?
No.
Yeah, you got boats and all sorts of stuff back there. I noticed this because we do business with Visa. So I went to have a few meetings with Visa, and I walked by there. A really nice bakery right outside of Paddington Station. So it's very interesting how the location is there.
You know what else is by Paddington?
Pardon?
You know what else is by Paddington?
What?
Taco Bell.
You're kidding me. There you go. We've got, I'm sure they got more than one Taco Bell. And there's one Tower Hill. Where's Tower Hill? Where is Tower Hill? Can it show up on the map for me, please?
Hold it, hold your mouse over the property name. Yeah. It showed it for a second. Or maybe that's so weird. I don't know.
You obviously got some Kensington stuff more here, 30,000. I think that since you can stay at some of these Indigos for just a few thousand more. High Street in Kensington.
That one's a good property. My neighbors stayed there and they enjoyed it. It has a pool and.
Oh, here it is. I see it here. Yeah. Which one? The Holiday Inn?
Yeah, Kensington High Street. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. But there are options. There are most definitely options here for London. And as you can see, the post-COVID craziness is over. Yeah. I think that this is the cheapest I have seen London in a very, very, very long time. What do you think?
I would definitely say the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely. We saw a lot of redemptions in the last 40 minutes we've been on on this stream. There are, you got to check the redemption that it actually makes sense, if you will, for each of these currencies. If the Churchill is £250 or $300 ish, remember, I have it set so taxes are included when I search for things on these various websites, and taxes are included when you search in London, anyways, for hotels. That's just the way they sell things, right? So if I were to, you don't spend 30,000 Hyatt points when you can buy it for $250. So that's pretty.
Yeah. Plus, you might be able to get a Hyatt Privé rate or FHR even for that matter, and at that point, it's even less of a reason.
Right. There you have it. No, I think that quickly go through. I think that Hyatt has priced themselves out of the game when it comes to redemptions in London. I think that there will be, of course, high seasons in the middle of summer or the high touristy dates of the year where it will be where it will still pay off to use your points. And since the availability for Hyatts are usually pretty good, you just need a standard room to be available. There's no games that are really played with that. means that the availability is pretty constant. Um, I think that the Albert Embankment for 25,000, no, for 20,000. I don't know. It depends how much it is, of course. But you obviously, when you're a globalist, if you're a globalist, it's got more value if that's your gig. But in general, 25,000 for the Ondas, 25,000 for the Blackfriars, maybe depends on the rate. But most cases, with the prices we saw now, absolutely not.
Off season, no way.
Right. So check out the reviews for the Hyatts. I mean, I have no complaints about, there are these are the things I mentioned are minor things. As globalist, I'm very happy with, and like I said, my number one hotel in London is definitely the Churchill, which is a Hyatt Regency, the best Hyatt Regency in the world for sure, with the club lounges and everything like that, and great with upgrades. I got a massive one bedroom suite the last time I was there. With bottles of wine and chocolate and snacks and all sorts of things like that. So I'm very happy about that. But it seems like 30,000 points. It needs to be over $500 in order for it to be paid. So it's supposed to be valuable for that, or there's supposed to be value. And then for Hilton, yeah, there's some good gigs around town, lots of them, and the ones I have firsthand experience with. The Paddington property is a little bit dusty, like we said. You can check out the reviews of the ones we've seen. But we found so the LXR, we forgot about that. But I do think that's 120,000. It's called a Biltmore.
I can take a look right now.
LXR London. Just search for LXR London. I think it's the Biltmore.
Yeah, Biltmore Mayfair.
Right. And it's still in Hyatt and Hilton LXR, right?
Yeah.
Wonder why it didn't show up. It must have been sold out for the dates. Usually it'll say it though, that that's the gig. Yeah, so that's the story there. And there are, the Conrad, also the Hilton Park Lane is fairly decent and stuff. And there's also a ton of LXRs. I talked about the Flemings in Mayfair, which is a good use of of points as well. Sometimes it's fairly inexpensive. Very good service. I had a good stay, and I liked it. But it was a part of Hyatt, and I assume that it won't be any different as small luxury hotels by Hilton, right?
Apparently, the Biltmore is no longer part of LXR as of about a year ago. So.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That was, 2 years ago, we were negotiating with Hilton about hosting the Loyalty Summit at that place.
Oh.
Great location, like very, very close to not the JW Grosswiener, but the other Grosswiener.
Marriott?
The Marriott Grosswiener. Very close to that, like literally around the block from there. So very, very close to that hotel. So in Mayfair. But okay, so we can say goodbye to that. Now we know. Who are they a part of now?
It says like Millennium Hotels.
Millennium Hotels. What's that?
$560 a night.
£560?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. That is that's a lot of that's a lot of a moolah for that for sure. Anyways, moving on to Marriott in London. I think that the key players there are. Oh yeah, also we talked about the Hilton Kensington. Let's not forget about that, since it's right across the street from the subway station, the Central Line. And moving on to Marriott. In conclusion, I dig the Maida Vale is great value, and so is the Regent Park Marriott. Both of them have great club lounges. I think that the Maida Vale Club Lounge is now open, and they offer breakfast in addition to the club if you want to do that as platinum and above. Great stays there, very good value, and as you could see, the number of points they wanted was ridiculously low. If you wanted something luxurious, I think the Wellesley, how did we say it again? is probably the best play, and then also the Saint Ermin is is a hotel that people like a lot. The Westin is definitely a 5-star, and very quiet, businessy, big, huge rooms in there. Had a great stay there. So, and there's also a review on that, so you can go in and check it out. So, yeah. So, and for IHG, I have a soft spot for the Intercontinental Hotel, right on the park, and also very conveniently located if you want to take the subway to the airport. Very cheap, of course, and a good gig. So that is the London guy for which hotel we recommend for you to use your miles and points on.
Yeah, avoid the JW. That's long story
Yeah,
short.
don't let friends gross wiener.
Indeed.
There you go. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Join us again next week while we are going to where we want to go next week, John.
Bangkok, New York, Dubai.
Let's do New York City.
Okay.
Next Wednesday, tune in for the same guide for New York City. Thanks for joining us, and giddy up.
Giddy up.